Hi, I'm Scoot, and welcome to the Scoot on the Air YouTube channel. Hey, I'm sorry I'm taking a little break here. I moved into a new apartment. I just got my studio set up here in my new apartment at West End. Still in New Orleans, but no longer downtown. Didn't feel safe anymore downtown. Didn't feel safe in my building. Didn't feel safe in downtown New Orleans. In fact, I've done a video about why I left New Orleans. And it's all real. It's all firsthand experience. And I explain it in a video here on the YouTube channel. Hey, I hope you will subscribe, become a subscriber, and we give you a notice every time we do something live or anytime we post something. So it's free. It's simple. Just become a subscriber to the Scoot on the Air YouTube channel. And thank you for being part of this. All right. So 5 radio talk show hosts, 5, have died in recent weeks. All 5 of these radio talk show hosts were condemning the COVID-19 vaccine on their radio shows, telling their listeners not to get the vaccine. Sadly, they got COVID and they're dead. I want to start out by saying I'm sorry they're dead. My thoughts and prayers with their souls, their families. I'm not happy that they're dead. But isn't there a lesson to be learned here? Did they sacrifice their lives to send a message? The message is pretty loud and damn clear. Get the vaccine. There was a study in London, and it parallels statistics here, but we just got this today. 98.8% of the COVID deaths are people who are unvaccinated. 98.8%. Only 1.2% of the deaths are people who died who are also vaccinated. So, I mean, there are going to be a few breakthrough cases. I mean, nothing's 100%, but those odds are overwhelming. So the latest person to die, talk show host to die, is Bob Enyart. 62 years old, and he is from Denver. Recently, Phil Valentine, 61 years old, from Nashville, got COVID. He died. He mocked the vaccine on his radio show. Dick Farrell, 65 years old, from South Florida. He referred to the pandemic as the scam-demic. He got COVID, died. Jimmy DeYoung, 81 years old, Chattanooga. Wow, there's somebody on the radio older than me. Anyway, Jimmy DeYoung, but God bless him. Jimmy DeYoung, I'm making fun of the fact that there's somebody older on the air than me, not him. But look, the guy's 81 years old, still on the air. He talked about how it's all a plot for the government to control people. The vaccine's a plot to control people. He got COVID and he's dead. Mark Bernier, 65 years old, from Daytona Beach, Florida. He's known as Mr. Anti-vax. He's dead. I can tell you, this is a bit of the truth behind the microphone. And I know this because I've been in this business a long time, and I understand how talk show hosts are. Not all of them, but I never wanted to be one of them. Talk show hosts will come up with a position, and they base their show on their position. And they're afraid to change their position. Politicians do the same thing. But these radio talk show hosts are set in their ways, and they're trying to show strength to the audience. This is my position. I've changed my position on things. We all get new information. And when we get new information in our lives, sometimes that changes our opinions. There's nothing shameful in that. In fact, to be honest with you, I think it takes more courage to change than it does to maintain a stupid opinion that you kind of know is wrong, but you're sticking with it because that was your opinion. But that's the mentality of talk shows. I'm telling you, I know. I mean, I've known talk shows just like this. And it could be that these guys died to save you. I'm not comparing them to Jesus or anything, but maybe they died to save you. You can change your mind about the vaccine. And somebody called the radio show today on WWL, and actually it was a text, and wanted to know, well, why am I afraid? Why do I want somebody else to get vaccinated? Because I'm vaccinated, why should I worry about it? Well, my senior studio producer, Ian, and I went back and forth and had a conversation about this. And the consensus is we want more people to be vaccinated because we want this bullshit to go away. We want this to calm down. We want to reach herd immunity. And when you've got not enough people vaccinated, variants can pop up. Also, hospitals are overwhelmed. And I know that here in New Orleans and South Louisiana, we've been really distracted with this storm, Hurricane Ida. That was a bitch. One of the strongest storms to hit. And it hit us. Hit some directly. Some people still don't have power. Some people don't have cable. Some people don't even have a home. They're lucky they have their lives. It was one powerful bitch that swept through here. And then now, right now, currently we're dealing with Tropical Storm Nicholas, which is bringing more rain than wind, but it's still, it's still in our minds. So I understand that people in this area weren't putting the pandemic first. But in all of this, you still have to remember the pandemic is still there. So this is a reminder. And wherever you are in the country, the pandemic is there. I don't remember the city, so I'm not going to say. But there was a man, a relatively young man, died of a heart attack because the hospital beds in the hospital, in all 42 hospitals throughout that area, they were all occupied with COVID patients, people with COVID who had not been vaccinated. They're taking up these beds. The guy died. Somebody else died from pancreatitis. Same reason. Hospital beds were taken with people who did not get the vaccination. That's the problem, filling up the hospitals. If you get the vaccination, you might get COVID, but chances are you're not going to the hospital. And chances are you're not going to die. And so Bob and Phil and Dick and Jimmy and Mark might all be alive on the air today, talking to their listeners if they had gotten the vaccine. What more do you need to know? If you've got some real specific religious reason for not getting it, I understand that. But so many of these reasons are just total superficial political bullshit. And there will always be a few people who won't get it, but there are not enough of them to cause the problem. The problem's being caused by the many people who are just refusing to get the vaccine. They accept conspiracy theories over reality. And as a result, people who accept conspiracy theories over reality are killing people. Thank you for joining me on the Scoot on the Air YouTube channel. And I'll be back with another video tomorrow. I hope you become a subscriber. You can go back and look. I mean, the titles on the videos that we do here pretty much explain, who I am and how I feel about things. And it's pretty clear what they're about. So you can go back and check on some of those. They're not too long. One of my favorites recently that continues to do really well is Brandy Love, conservative porn star. Yeah, this conservative porn star, Brandy Love, she goes to this conservative conference in Tampa, and she's recognized as a porn star, and they kick her out. That video did really well. Well, wait a minute. How did they recognize her? Unless they're watching porn. And I'll say it again. They even recognized her standing up with her clothes on. Join me on the radio show tomorrow afternoon, 1 to 4 Central Time. on WWL. If you haven't done it yet, you can go to the App Store, download the app Odyssey, Audacy, and type in WWL. And you've got our show wherever you've got your phone. And then also join me on Facebook, Scoot on the Air, and Scoot on the Air Instagram. Again, thank you for joining me here on the YouTube channel.